Welcome back. This is Eric Smith, your host of the Entrepreneur's Voice Show. And today we've got a very exciting but very important topic we're going to be dealing with. So our guest today is a life coach that helps individuals that live, number one, live in the Sarasota, Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Orlando, Central Florida region here in the United States. And her name is Tara Hoover with Peak Potentials LLC, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's the question for you. Do you or someone you know and love suffer from depression, anxiety, stress, low self-esteem, a feeling of low self-worth? This is a problem where many women, and women are going to be who we're focused on today. Men, we love you, but we're going to talk to the women today. But if you have a woman in your life, you want to pay attention to what we're talking about so that you can get her living and enjoying the life she deserves. So we're going to talk about the challenge that's happening with people today. You've got an incredible story, Tara, that I'm dying to hear about. But before we get into that, I just want to let people get to know who you are, where you're from.
I'm Tara Hoover. I'm from New York, originally from New York, born and raised, moved to the island, and came to Florida in 1989.
Okay.
So I've been here a long time. Actually, I guess a native now, right?
Yeah, you're a native.
Absolutely. I have two wonderful children that were both born in Florida, my son Cameron and my daughter Ariel. And they are Floridians. Little crackers, I guess. So New Yorker and crackers come together. So
there's a story behind crackers of what that means here in Florida. So you'll have to look that one up. But
yeah. So I have a wonderful family that has all now moved to Florida from New York, and I got my certification, my life certification from Fowler International, and my addiction and recovery coach certification from Rise.
Congratulations.
So
you've been here. You work in the life coaching area. Tell me what exactly is it that you do, and then what inspired you to do what you do?
Well, what I do is I help individuals anywhere from mostly women, and again, we love the men, but I can relate to the women, and younger children, younger teenage girls. And what I do is I help them in a portion of their life that they might just be stuck to get through that barrier.
Okay.
So it might be that they are suffering from low self-esteem, or they're fearful, they have anxiety, they want a career, they don't know how to get a career, they have no self-value, they might have come from a really abusive relationship. So I really help them get back on their feet as far as, and it could be anything, spiritually, financially, career. We really try to work on the whole entire well-being of this individual completely. With the children, with the teenage part of it, we do the 3 selfies. So we do self-esteem, self-worth, and self-respect.
3 selfies.
3 selfies, yes. And the teenagers love it because they're all into the selfies now. So they really enjoy this. And we try to instill like the 3 selfies really make you a whole person. They make you, you're able to speak up for yourself. You're able to make the right choices in life. You're able to stand up for yourself. You're able to make better decisions as far as, sex, drugs, alcohol at that age, where if they believe in themselves and have self-value, then, they don't need to get it from somebody else. So I wrote a program called Comfortable and Confident, and it's a teenage journey to self-discovery. And we do like perception versus reality on, how people perceive you versus what you really think about yourself. And
that's a huge point right there, because
it's a big one.
Oftentimes those aren't the exact same, right?
They're not, and they're not at all. And the teenagers really, really have a hard time at that. But so do the adult ladies I deal with. They have a hard time with that also, because sometimes we may look at somebody who is super happy, just we think that, you know, everything is perfect in their life, and they are suffering from depression, or, you know, just are really crying inside, you know, like the clown that is got this big smile, but then he's got like the tears, you know, they're crying inside. They're just dying inside to be loved or, you know, appreciated. And so when you really tap into why people may be nasty, or why people might, you know, be a little cranky, you know, there might be a problem, an underlying problem there. Or, you know, some people are just too happy, and there is such thing as too happy, because we find more so than not, they're hiding something.
They're hiding. That's incredible. So that is a major list of areas that you can support and help people.
Yeah.
What drove you into opening your career path to say, I'm going to get all these certifications and I'm going to support and help people? What made you do that?
Well, Eric, my story goes really deep. I moved here in 1989, like I shared, and really went through abandonment from my parents, and grew up with no self-esteem, grew up with feeling like I didn't belong, I didn't fit in, didn't know how to speak up for myself, was always trying to find out where I belonged, which was really difficult for me. So I probably made some bad decisions I shouldn't have made, and things like, you know, probably dated people that treated me horrible, or really were super jealous, and I viewed jealousy out of love. And so growing up in those teenage years were really, really hard for me, because I wasn't, you know, the cheerleader. I was kind of like the wallflower, which is not me at all. But I didn't know really where I fit in at all.
Okay.
And so then when I graduated from high school, I went and did a year of college, wasn't for me. And then I got my real estate license. And then that's where I met my husband, my former husband, who we owned a contractor. We built about 60 cookie cutter homes a year. And, you know, I was always really happy, was part of a lot of different fundraising for All Children's Hospital, and I did a lot of stuff like that. And my passion was always people. I always really enjoyed people. And, you know, everybody would say, oh, you know, you have life made, and everything is so wonderful. And I did. I had great kids. I was financially secure. I mean, what else does everybody want? I mean, you know, but inside, I wore so many masks. Like, inside, I was just dying to be accepted and be loved. That was really all I wanted. So along the way, during that time, I ended up getting divorced. And when I got divorced, I went into commercial real estate, which was an entirely different ballgame for me, completely. And again, I really enjoyed, I did business development for them, and I really just enjoyed other people and helping other people. That was really what I came from. But really what it was I had such a hole inside that I was seeking out for other people, because I wanted to avoid what was going on inside for me. Then about 18 months ago, I decided that, you know, I was people pleasing everybody. I talk about when you opened up the book and you just looked for codependent, like my picture was there, because I didn't even know who I was anymore. I was like, hi, I'm Tara Hoover, you're an introvert, so am I. Hi, I'm Tara Hoover, you're an extrovert, so am I. Hi, I'm Tara Hoover, you know, what do you want me to be today? You like sushi? I love sushi. So for me, it was...
You lacked identity.
Yeah.
Wow. How many people, as you're listening to this, how many people are relating or know someone that may be going through those same type of struggles? But go ahead, keep going.
Well, I lacked identity to the point where I decided that, you know, I think life would be better. People in my life would be better off without me. And, you know, all of that glitter isn't always gold. And we always say that. It's because I had two wonderful children. One of them's in private school. They're both really great athletes. I had what everybody thought was the perfect life, fiance who loved me and everything else. And so everybody looked at me like I had it all. And I didn't have it all. I actually disliked myself so much and just didn't know where I belonged that I attempted suicide. And I spent 4 days in a coma, on a ventilator. You know, my family, they're watching me, you know, and they told my family I wasn't going to come out of it. And if I did, I was, you know, going to be a vegetable or, you know, have brain damage or something, and I didn't. And when I woke up on Sunday, and I remember the doctor saying, Tara, do you remember what happened? And all I could remember was smelling my daughter. I use a lot of fabric softener, and so she played with me. And I smelled her, and then I got really worried because I didn't know where she was. Like, I didn't remember what was going on during that time. And then they started taking the ventilator out. I mean, it just was like, whoa. And so when I woke up, I remember they brought me up to my room on Monday, and I laid there at zero energy. I mean, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't do anything. I could talk, but when they intubated me, I dislocated my jaw. So it really like hurt, and I had a pike. I was a mess. I was a mess. And I laid in bed that Monday, and my family started to come up and see me, and I really just didn't take any visitors. I didn't take visitors, like even my mom. You know, I just kind of shut everybody out. My daughter came up and stayed with me, my fiance, and everybody came up and stayed with me. And I laid there when I was alone, and I said to myself, how in the world did I get here? How did I get so low in this position of my life to where I wanted to take my life? Because people say that suicide is selfish, but really at that point, I just wanted the pain to go away, my pain to go away, and I thought people would really be better off without me. So when we look at suicide, we look at it as selfish, but now when you come out of something like that, you realize that there's so many unanswered questions for the people you leave behind. You know, I had to sit down and really listen to my family, watch me be in that position. People were like, you're so happy and so full of energy. What happened, you know? And that was the point that I decided I was going to change careers. And I was going to help every single person that I could, especially women, love themselves. And start off with the teenagers, because I think that that's where we can mold our babies and build that confidence and allow them to make those decisions in life to really help themselves and just feel loved and accepted. They're going to grow up to be strong women. But no one, and I tell you, no one deserves to feel that kind of pain, whether it's anxiety or in a bad relationship or anything. No one deserves to feel that amount of pain.
Tara, wow. I mean, I'm just caught up in this story that you're sharing, and just can't help wonder how many people simply feel the same way you do and would have taken, and on a daily basis, take those same actions to end it all. And so I applaud you for waking up and coming out and coming to that decision. Again, we're talking to Tara Hoover with Peak Potentials. The story that she just shared with you, number one, was a low point of her life. But now she's using that as motivation, but as experience to be able to relate. So when you are feeling these things and you want to connect with someone that can relate to what it is that you're feeling, I don't think there's anyone more qualified to be able to relate to those feelings of low self-worth, anxiety, and depression. Where can a person go, before I get into further details of things that you're doing, people need to go right now. Where can they go to connect with you?
They can go to taraleehoover.com, or they can call me. I wish I had somebody that I could have just picked up the phone and said, hey, I need to talk. My number is 417-5237.
In the bottom of the description, click on her website. There's her Twitter, her Facebook, and her phone number. If you know someone right now that needs support, click on the button, click the link, get someone in touch with them today. So what I want to do now is I want to talk about, you made this decision of what you're going to do. You work with young girls. It starts with the teenagers, you said. Tell me about these teen programs and how parents or individuals can, or counselors or teachers can get their young teenagers that they care about into your programs.
Like I said, they can contact me on my website or they can email me anyway. The program that I did for teenage girls, because I think that's where it really starts off, and I'm focusing on girls because I can relate. Not that I am, devaluing males at all, but I can relate to females in my experience and what I went through. And I think for mothers, we have a very large responsibility in raising our children, both female and male. So this program that I developed is really for teenagers to learn how to prioritize, learn how to like themselves, learn how to fit in, learn how to speak their mind, how to speak.
Okay.
I do the big perception versus reality because, again, some people might think that you're a snob because you don't talk, but really you're just shy. And we do a whole big, it's a fun, but I make the workshop very fun. And we do personality poker where the group gets together and they pick out like cards of what they think their personality is and what other people give them cards on how they see them. So they get to see what other people really think of them, which is really cute. I have some videos on my website of some of the girls who were really nervous about what people thought about them. And I think that's really powerful because if we can raise our children to make the right decisions, to walk away from some of the peer pressure that's out there now, till our baby girls are growing up and they've got these beautiful, figures at the very young age, how to appropriately handle that, how to cope with these life skills. I think coping was one of the things I didn't learn growing up. I didn't learn how to cope. And there's so much pressure out there for these children and these amazing, teenagers that it's just hard for them to navigate through. So if anybody wanted to, it's totally based on confidence and respect and respecting others or respecting themselves. I always tell my girls, if don't share your body with somebody you're not going to share your toothbrush with. These teenagers are.
That's huge advice.
It really is, and sometimes they don't have parents. They feel comfortable enough talking to them, or there's so many different dynamics in life, and people are afraid to talk about that stuff. People are afraid to talk about sex, and people are afraid to talk about alcohol. People are afraid to talk about this stuff, and it's like, what? I wish somebody would have talked to me about it. This is vital stuff. This is really important stuff. Our teenage daughters shouldn't be put in a position to grow up or have to be sexy or have to be, they're kids, they're babies, and we need to keep them that way. We need to teach them right from wrong. We need to teach them what's important and what's not important.
I was having this conversation the other day, growing up, I was not allowed to do certain things. Discipline was a part of my family and was taught right and wrong. But yet, to what you're saying, yeah, we did talk about those things. And it's like, what has happened to generations where parents are just afraid to talk to their children? Because for the most part, some of us were raised to do the right thing, but then some may not have had that training. But why do we have such a society where people are afraid to talk about those things?
Well, I think what it really boils down to is the parents, including myself. Now we have so much social media. We have Twitter and Instagram and Vine and all this other stuff. So we aren't as technical savvy as our kids are. So we want to be on top of it all, but we don't, like, oh, look at a picture that my daughter posted, or this could be perception versus reality. This could be taken in a different, taken out of context completely. So I think it's the challenges that us parents have also, that we have to teach our children right from wrong, teach our children how to be social, there's that fine line in being social and being too out there, and so the key thing as far as being open with your kids. I want all of your passwords, and I want to be able to look at your stuff all the time, and just have that open communication with them. But I think that the parents have it really hard. A lot of us have to work, both parents have to work, so we're trying to support them and make a living, and then you're trying to raise them, and a lot of times you're tired, and and it helps sometimes. Teenagers don't want to listen to their parents, and it helps sometimes to be able to say, hey, this is going to be a fun program that I'm going to sign you up for, and I make the program so fun that they don't even realize what they're really learning. But the retention is amazing. Like when I ask them questions at the end, it's amazing how they respond to it.
That's incredible, because that's the most important thing, the memories that they walk away with, and the life-changing experience. So if you have a daughter or a niece or a granddaughter, get to the website.
Or a son also. I work really well with boys.
Okay,
in that whole entire teenage group, because I think that the basis of the self-esteem and the self-worth and the self-respect, and even a lot of daddies are, working, or they're absent, or, single moms, how to teach their sons, how to treat a lady, and how to show respect. And our girls, what's a healthy relationship with ourselves and with other people. We don't really learn that healthy relationship too early, and we can't learn it too early in life. So
that's a really good point. And I've had a background in working in education and working with young people, and young men do need the same types of encouragement. So I'm glad that you make that available, so that as they're growing up together, they can really see that positive reinforcement and interaction of each other, but being able to have those confidence skills brought into their life. So when does the next retreat start? Is there a series of, like when they start and stop and so forth?
They are 3 hours, and I don't have any scheduled for individuals. Right now I have some scheduled for competitive cheerleading gyms. But if anybody's interested, they can email me, and I will just immediately put one together or do one-on-one with them. I really think the key thing also, Eric, is teaching our kids empathy, with all this stuff going on in Ferguson and all this other stuff going on. It's empathy. Why are people doing what they're doing? Why did I try to commit suicide? Like, if we can get down to the heart of the matter with people, everybody deserves a second chance. Your past doesn't define you. So it's more about mapping each part of that life out, and saying, this is what I want for my relationships. This is what I want for my career. This is what I want, financially. This is well-being. This is spiritual, and really map it all out, and coming up with a boutique blueprint that matches your personality. And our children have different personalities, and we have different personalities, adults have different personalities, and we kind of like put them all together in this melting pot. But you can't paint things with a broad brush. I mean, everybody is special in their own way. And so, the bullying and the things like that go on, if we can teach our kids just empathy, and they want to learn in a cool way. They want to learn, hey, I could do this in a fun, cool way,
Isn't she adorable? I mean, really.
Thank you.
Wouldn't you want your daughter, granddaughter, son, wouldn't you want her learning from this? I mean, this is a model example. When you talk about empathy, empathy is an important word, because when you can show fellow feeling for your fellow man or woman, then it makes you think about your actions.
Absolutely.
So that's an incredible word. That's the word of the day, empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah. So you've got the programs. We've had this, which we know your story. We know it ignited the transformation and helping other people and so forth. Tell us some of the most amazing news as to where you are personally in your life. Please share with us.
Okay. I am, that was my story. And if I could bottle the happiness that I feel right here, right today, I would bottle it because I want to feel this happy and this fulfilled and this amazing forever. And I know it's not a Pollyanna world, so we all can't live in that world all the time. But I did that for me. I mapped out where I wanted my family to be, my children. I mapped out the toxic people I wanted to get out of my life and remove from my life. I mapped out everything. I did my own boutique blueprint, and I down to my relationship with my fiance, down to everything, and how I was going to do it. And it didn't come easy. It was a lot of hard work, and it was a lot of soul searching, and a lot of educating, and a lot of why do we do the things that we do. And right now, as we speak, I have 2 children who are thriving. My daughter and her cheerleading team are on their way to Summit in Orlando for nationals. I'm so proud of them. Yes. And my son is working for Team Official doing gas piping. A super job, amazing job.
Awesome, awesome.
The friends, including Eric, that I have in my life are the most solid, amazing, supportive people. And I just got married. I got married to the most amazing man, and I am just so happy. So I'm feeling very content, very fulfilled, and I am ready to help other people feel this way, because it's possible. I mean, I went from ground zero, suicide, to success. And
so now let me just officially, I can't hold it back. Let me officially introduce to everyone. I stand corrected. This is not Tara Hoover, but this is Tara Olmstead.
Yes. Thank you.
My friend. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being willing, number one, to share that story. Sharing your story, touching other people, and then doing something with that story and creating the life you wanted and deserved.
Thank you.
And then helping others create the life they want and just deserve. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Would you be willing to come back on the show? And we're going to talk about other areas of business, because this is the Entrepreneur's Voice Show, and we're looking to connect with entrepreneurs that are making a difference in the world. And so there may be people listening that are part of some of their frustration is because they have a job and they're not living their full potential because they really want to be their own boss. So I want you to come back if you would.
I would love to. And on my blog posting, I do a lot about entrepreneurs and business, for women. And I keep saying for women, I'm sorry, but because I can relate. So that's just kind of where
It's
I'm
okay.
at.
A lot of my clientele are women.
But it can help their wives.
Yeah.
They can help their wives grow. And so
women rock. Let's just admit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Business women are right there. So,
Yes.
I think it takes a lot of passion to be an entrepreneur and a parent and a wife. And we're like, you earn your diva stripes. And
Well, I think you earned your stripes for real.
And so I think women should be in business for themselves. Yes. And men also. I think that we just have a little bit of more of a challenge sometimes, and we need the men's support and advice, and we all can collaborate together. But I would love to come back on the show and talk about business.
Perfect. Well, we'll get that scheduled back in. And I like what you said. You need men's support, but I'll tell you this. As an entrepreneurial tip, women, support your men who are budding and thriving entrepreneurs, because when you make your man feel like he's Superman, it doesn't matter what anybody else said. If his woman told him he could do it, then it's going to get done. And men, support your woman, because women can touch lives in a way that others can't touch. So let's support each other.
I agree.
And really thrive and prosper and live the lives we each deserve and are supposed to have. This is Eric Smith, your host of the Entrepreneur Show. I want to thank our wonderful, amazing, loving guest, Tara Hoover.
Thank you. If anybody needs my help, please call me. I'm here for you.
We'll see you on the next show.